everybody, and welcome back to my series. It is Brad once again. It is the 8th of March 2017, and in this video I want to talk about my Dexa scan results. So Dexa Dexa scan results essentially is a machine that you lay on and it scans your body and will tell you what your body composition is. In other words, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, and even bone density and those kinds of things as well. And so it is actually used by guys in the fitness space, usually, to find out what their body composition is. Not everybody needs to get it done when you're wanting to lose weight or lose fat and maintain muscle. However, it is a great idea as part of your method of tracking your progress to get a Dexa scan done so you know exactly what's going on underneath your skin, as opposed to jumping on the bathroom scales, which gives you overall weight, or using simple tape measures and that kind of thing, which is fine. You can do all of that, but you don't really know what's going on when you're lifting weights and you're dieting to lose fat. You don't know how much fat you're losing, how much water you're losing, how much muscle you're losing, or how much muscle you're building. So Dexa scans, this is my Dexa scan here. I'll actually flash it up on your screen so you can see exactly what it looks like. This is the result, the printout that I was given when I had this Dexa scan done 2 days before my competition. So this was done on the, what date was it done? It was done 2 days before my competition on the 3rd of March 2017. So let's get straight into it. Now, the Dexa scan, if we go straight to the results for, what are we looking at? Okay, total body percent fat results. So if you have a look there, you'll see the scan date, 3rd of March 2017. Yes, I'm 31 years of age, and I'm also single as I film this right now. I know that's totally irrelevant. Just a bit of tongue in cheek there. Body fat percentage in the next column, 8.30%. Okay, and then you'll see on the far right-hand side columns, you'll see change versus baseline, change versus previous. So you'll see that if we look at this table as a whole, the previous Dexa scan that I had done was on the 13th of September 2016. So that was before I started this comp prep journey. And I'm only going to focus on the 13th of September, which was before I started the comp prep journey, to the 3rd of March, which was essentially 2 days before I finished my comp prep journey. And you'll see that when I started my comp prep journey, I was 12.6% body fat. And by the way, the Dexa machine is the same machine that I've been using for a couple of years now, the same software as well. So if you're watching this and you're familiar with Dexa scans and that kind of stuff, you might have those questions, and I thought I'd just hit those on the head real quick. So yeah, you'll see that I've had a number of scans over the previous few years, and you'll see that before 12.6%, and I got down to 8.3% body fat. Now just real quick, if you're looking at competing on the stage, it doesn't matter what your body fat percentage is before you step on the stage. It doesn't really matter, okay? The judges are not gonna look at you and go, oh, you're 6% or you're 8% or you're 10% or whatever. It's what looks good. It all comes down to looks. You're being judged on looks. I'm about to sneeze. So you're being judged on looks, and that's all that matters. 8.3%. But I did the scan because I wanted to see what my muscle mass was doing and what I managed to, if I was able to maintain my muscle mass during my cut down to 8.3% body fat and that kind of thing. So that's why I did this scan. All right, so you'll see, if we go back to that table, 18th of February 2016, and a 16.1% body fat, that was essentially almost at the top of my bulk. So I was bulking there to build maximum muscle. I was doing that on my own. I think I got a little bit heavier than that as well. That was just when I had the scan done. I think I got to like 17, 18% body fat. I actually topped out at about, in June 2016, I got to my biggest, which was 106 kilograms as part of my bulk to build muscle. And if we go to this other table, and I'll flash that up on your screen, called Compartmental Trending, you'll see that there's two lines and they're moving up and they're moving down. And you'll see that at the bottom they're time stamped. So you'll see that we've got the latest scan, which was done, you'll see that there on your screen there. I'm just seeing if we've got the right chart. So we've got kilograms on the y-axis and we have time on the x-axis. And you'll see that over time, I've bulked. So one line is for muscle, one line is for fat. You'll see that there, you'll see that. See on mine, it's not color-coded. So on your screen right now, it's color-coded. So all I'm seeing is black and white. So the shaded part, because I'm seeing it as black and white on my paper in front of me, it's lean muscle. And the yellow part is fat. And you'll see how during the bulk, I was both increasing my muscle mass and also increasing my fat mass. And my fat mass was increasing at a slightly faster rate than my amount of muscle mass. So I want to make this distinction because when you're bulking, you're doing that to build muscle, but when you build muscle, when you're bulking, you will naturally put on fat. That's part of the process of bulking. And for some people, that's me in this case, I'll put on slightly more fat than I will muscle. Some people can put on more muscle faster than what they put on fat. And so you'll see in my case, I put on slightly more fat than muscle during that bulking period. And then I started my cut, and you'll see that my muscle mass has only dropped off a little bit. I've almost maintained it. It's dropped off a little tiny bit, but you'll see that I've cut down that fat. So you can see that line trending downwards. And that's really what you're wanting to do when you're cutting. You really want to try and preserve as much muscle as you can while cutting as much fat as possible. And so the Dexa results show that, I've lost a little bit of muscle, not too much, but I've lost a lot of that fat as well. And that's what we're trying to do when we're cutting, is we're trying to maximize fat loss or maintain as much muscle as possible. And the reality is you'll always lose a little bit of muscle unless you're taking steroids. There are steroids out there which can essentially have you build muscle and lose fat at the same time. And but I don't take steroids. So as a natural weightlifter, someone who's not chemically enhanced, and that's a very important distinction to make, because the moment someone's chemically enhanced, you can't make comparisons between chemically enhanced person over here to someone like me who's completely natural. And when I say completely natural, I mean not even do one cycle of steroids. I mean completely natural. So this guy over here, chemically enhanced, this guy over here, completely natural, you can't compare the two. You can't compare the two DEXA scan results, you just can't. So yeah, if you go back to this table here, you'll see that, and I'll flash that table up on your screen, whereby total lean mass results, you'll see that I've got, as per the 3rd of March 2017, 80,419 grams, or 80.4 kilograms, and compared to the previous result was 81,614. This DEXA scans are really awesome. You really get good, accurate information and really good numbers that you can make reasonably good comparisons with previous results. You'll see that if you go to the far right-hand column, minus 1195, which means that from the previous scan back in 13th of September 2016, before my competition preparation journey, that I've lost 1.1, almost 1.2 kilograms of muscle in the last 3 or 4 months or so. Was September last year, right? So from 13th of September 2016 to the 3rd of March 2017, I've lost 1195 grams of muscle. Okay, and then in that same period, if I flash this up on your screen, I've lost 5,628 grams of fat. Sorry, that's not right. I've lost 4,633 grams of fat. I'm looking at the wrong table. So again, I want to emphasize this. I'm explaining these results to you because it's really important that firstly, you track your progress, because you don't know if you're making progress, if what you've done in your competition preparation or weight loss program, you don't know if you've made progress or not with building muscle, losing fat, if you don't get some kind of test like this done, as I said, this costs 60, 70, 80 bucks to get a scan like this. And look, at the end of the day, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. That's completely fine. When I first started training, I didn't have the money to spend on Dexa scans. I just used the tape measure. I used, in addition to bathroom scales, remember, you never use bathroom scales on their own. They're completely ludicrous on their own. You take the results from your bathroom scales and you use a tape measure, and then you might use a pinch and inch. So you take a caliper, you might do the single site measurement if you wish, not completely accurate, but I've been doing it for years, and I can get within about 1% accurate of a Dexa scan by using single point measurement. But I've been doing single point measurements for 4 years now, and I've been consistent with how I measure myself with a single point measurement. Or you can use 7-point measurements or multi-point measurements, which are more accurate, but you need somebody else to do it for you so they can take your subscap and everything else, right? Anyway, so the point of this, track your progress. You know if you're making progress or not if you have the hard numbers. And I hope this was helpful. These are my Dexa scan results. So I'm pretty happy with them. 8.3% body fat, it really means nothing in terms of competition, but it's good to know that I'm 8.3% and I've maintained pretty much most of my muscle, lost a little tiny bit, but there is muscle memory. You can get a lot of that back if you've already had the muscle in the past. That's a whole nother discussion. So you shouldn't worry too much if you've lost a bit of muscle, because you do have muscle memory. You will build it back very quickly. And I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, reach me directly. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.